Roles and responsibility of leaders of organizations for strategy. Leaders play a central role in shaping and directing organizational strategy. Senior leaders, particularly the board of directors and executive management, are responsible for defining the strategic direction of the organization and ensuring that strategies are aligned with long-term goals and stakeholder expectations. They must analyze the organizational environment, identify opportunities and threats, and determine how resources should be deployed to achieve competitive advantage. Strategic leaders also establish governance structures that guide decision-making and ensure accountability. By setting clear priorities and communicating strategic intentions throughout the organization, leaders help coordinate activities across departments and ensure that the organization moves toward its desired strategic outcomes. Leaders are responsible for communicating strategy and building commitment among employees and stakeholders. A strategy cannot succeed unless it is clearly understood and supported by those responsible for implementing it. Leaders therefore play an important role in communicating strategic objectives, explaining the rationale behind decisions, and motivating employees to contribute to strategic success. This often involves creating a compelling vision for the future and encouraging staff to embrace change. Effective communication ensures that employees understand how their work contributes to the overall strategy and encourages alignment across the organization. Without strong leadership communication, strategies may fail due to misunderstanding, lack of motivation, or resistance to change. Strategic leaders also guide organizational change and manage the process of strategic implementation. When strategies involve significant transformation, leaders must coordinate change initiatives and overcome resistance within the organization. They act as change champions who articulate the need for change, build coalitions of support, and ensure that the necessary resources are available to implement strategic initiatives. Successful leaders anticipate potential barriers and take steps to address them by engaging stakeholders and encouraging collaboration across the organization. Through strong leadership and effective change management, organizations can translate strategic plans into practical actions and achieve sustainable improvements in performance. Definition of purpose, vision, and values of organizations. The purpose or mission of an organization defines its fundamental reason for existence. According to Cima terminology, a mission represents the basic objective of the organization expressed in general terms. It explains why the organization exists, what it seeks to achieve, and whom it serves. A mission statement typically describes the organization's core activities, its broad objectives, and the principles that guide its operations. Importantly, the mission focuses on the organization's purpose rather than the specific methods used to achieve it. By clearly communicating this purpose to employees, customers, and other stakeholders, the mission provides a foundation for strategic planning and helps ensure that organizational activities remain aligned with its fundamental objectives. A vision statement describes the desired future position of the organization. While the mission explains the organization's current purpose, the vision outlines what the organization ultimately aims to become or achieve in the long term. Vision statements often describe aspirations such as market leadership, innovation, or excellence in customer service. They provide inspiration and direction for employees by presenting a clear picture of future success. A strong vision can motivate staff and guide strategic decision-making by helping leaders determine which opportunities support the organization's long-term ambitions. As a result, the vision functions as a guiding framework that shapes the development and implementation of strategic initiatives. Organizational values represent the beliefs and ethical principles that guide behavior within the organization. Values define the standards of conduct expected from employees and managers when interacting with stakeholders and carrying out business activities. They may include principles such as integrity, customer focus, innovation, or social responsibility. By establishing shared values, organizations create a consistent organizational culture that influences decision-making and behavior across all levels. Values also help organizations maintain ethical standards and build trust with stakeholders. When values are clearly defined and communicated, they act as a behavioral framework that supports both strategic objectives and the organization's long-term reputation. Linkage between purpose, vision, and values to each other and to strategy. Purpose, vision, and values together provide the foundation for organizational strategy. The purpose defines why the organization exists, the vision describes what it aims to achieve in the future, and the values determine how it intends to behave while pursuing these goals. Strategy then translates these elements into practical actions and plans that enable the organization to move from its current position toward its desired future state. By aligning strategic decisions with the organization's mission and vision, leaders ensure that the organization's activities remain consistent with its fundamental objectives. This alignment helps create coherence across strategic initiatives and ensures that resources are directed toward achieving the organization's long-term aspirations. Strategic planning processes often use purpose, vision, and values as guiding principles when evaluating strategic options. When managers generate potential strategies, they must consider whether each option supports the organization's mission and contributes to achieving the long-term vision. Strategies that conflict with the organization's core values or purpose may undermine its identity, damage stakeholder trust, or create ethical concerns. Therefore, these foundational elements act as a screening mechanism to ensure that proposed strategies are consistent with the organization's overall direction and cultural principles. This ensures that strategy development remains aligned with the organization's identity and stakeholder expectations. The alignment of purpose, vision, and values with strategy also supports effective implementation and organizational cohesion. When employees understand how strategic initiatives relate to the organization's mission and vision, they are more likely to feel motivated and committed to achieving strategic objectives. Shared values reinforce consistent decision-making and guide employee behavior when implementing strategic plans. This alignment also helps organizations maintain a clear strategic direction even when operating in complex and dynamic environments. By ensuring that strategy reflects the organization's purpose, vision, and values, leaders create a coherent framework that supports long-term success and sustainable competitive advantage.